Okay, Dee, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-bid and technical review meeting for the Chicago Department of Transportation Capital Program, Alleys, various locations for Package 9. The contract number is C1632, and today is June 25th, 2026, at approximately 11 o'clock a.m. Our agenda today will include introductions, procurement details, which I will cover, compliance, which our Deputy of Compliance will cover, technical review, which our project manager will cover for the project, and then finally our Q&A session, which will happen at the end. So please hold your questions until then. Okay, we'll start with introductions of the PBC staff. I'm Dee Taylor, and I'm the contract officer for this project. And next is James. James, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Hey, good morning, everybody. James Borkman, PBC.
Patty Montenegro, PVC Procurement.
Patrice Dove, Compliance PBC.
Minnie Keys, PBC.
Miguel Fernandez, PBC Procurement.
Jesse Rodriguez, PBC Compliance.
Robert Ochi, PBC, Project Management.
Javier Descoto, PBC, Field Management. I'm here with Ivan, Fauzi, and Yash.
Okay. If we don't have any more PBC staff to be introduced, CDOT and partners, please introduce yourselves.
Matt Crocker, CDOT.
Demel Cox, Connect.
Okay. Do we have any general contractors with us here today?
Boa Construction.
Okay. And any subcontractors or suppliers here with us today?
We do have a Vasilia Sakalaris on. If you could introduce yourself, please, Vasilia. Yeah, we couldn't hear you. Type it in the chat, please. Thank you. Go ahead, Dee.
Okay. Thank you. So now I'll cover the procurement details for the project. The overview of the project has 4 locations for each alley. Project number 22951 is East 41st Street in Ward 4. Project number 22952 is West 42nd Street in Ward 11. Project number 22953 is West 31st Place in Ward 11 also. And project number 22954 is West 47th Street in Ward 20. The general scope of work for this project includes reconstruction of alley sewers, subgrade and pavement utilizing recycled construction materials and methods implemented by the City of Chicago, full depth alley pavement reconstruction. In addition, the work includes proper handling and disposal of on-site material, Portland cement concrete base course, hot mix asphalt, surface course, sewer and drainage structures, sewer cleaning and televising, vortex restrictors, concrete curb and gutter, concrete sidewalks and ADA ramps of various depths, concrete driveways, concrete garage aprons, concrete alleys, pre-molded rubber speed bumps, permeable concrete block pavers, specifically for West 47th Street, project number 22954, bedding and void opening aggregates for permeable concrete block pavers, geotechnical fabric, topsoil, and hydraulic seeding. The contractor will be required to prepare a phasing and logistics plan within 30 days of the notice to proceed, also called the NTP, for review and approval by both CDOT and PBC prior to the mobilization and commencement of any work. The contractor shall also provide critical submittals, including sewer and drainage structures and pavers as applicable, within 30 days of issuance of the NTP. On-site construction work at each alley location must be completed within 45 calendar days from commencement of work for alleys without concrete block pavers and 60 days for alleys that include concrete block pavers. The time of completion overview is on the screen. It includes 2 milestones, and substantial completion. The first scheduled milestone, number 1, includes pre-construction, which includes construction submittals, material and equipment procurement, schedule preparation and issuance, mobilization, utility coordination, and CDOT OUC permitting for all alley location projects 22951, 52, 53, and 54. The contractor can start no sooner than July 14th, 2026, and it must be completed by August 31st, 2026. Substantial completion includes alley reconstruction and associated work for projects 22951 through 22954. The contractor can start no sooner than September 1st, 2026, and must complete it by November 27th, 2026. However, the work may commence upon completion and acceptance of any prerequisite milestones. Schedule milestone number 2 is new landscaping. The contractor can start no sooner than October 1st, 2026, and must complete by November 27th, 2026. Liquidated damages will be assessed for failure to achieve substantial completion. $1,500 per day will be assessed, and $500 per day will be assessed for failure to achieve any of the scheduled milestone dates that we just covered. Documents are available in a few places for contractors. One is the PBC Current Opportunities page. The website address is listed on the screen. Also, on our online plan room with our printer, which is Blue Edge. The website address is on the screen, and the contact person is Jesus Favela, and the address and contact number is also listed. The documents for this project include Book 1, Book 2, and Book 3, as well as construction drawings. Book 1, it covers the introduction, general project overview, submission requirements. A few highlights in Book 1 are the bid form, the MBE, WBE, EEO information, and the community area map. At this time, the community area map is forthcoming. That will be issued via addendum soon. Book 2 covers the standard terms and conditions for the contract. And Book 3 includes the technical specifications. And as mentioned earlier, the project also includes construction drawings. Documents are also available through our assist agencies. We partner with the assist agencies. They also can provide information for you on MBE and WBE contractors or subcontractors. The technical review meeting for this project is today, June 25th, 2026, at approximately 11:30 a.m. It will be immediately following this meeting. At this time, no site visit has been scheduled for the project. However, notwithstanding, the failure of the bidders to become familiar with the project shall not relieve or alter the bidder's responsibility for completing the work as required by the contract documents. Requests for information, also called RFIs, are to be directed to me. I am the sole point of contact. D. Taylor, again, the contract officer for the project. My email address is dee.taylor@thecityofchicago.org. The deadline for you to submit RFIs is Thursday, July 2nd, 2026 by 4:00 p.m. At this time, no addendum has been issued, but as mentioned earlier, we will be issuing an addendum that will include the community area map and may include other things as well. Bid due date and time. The bid is due July 9th, 2026 at 11:00 a.m. However, this is subject to change via addendum. We recommend that you sign up for PBC alerts if you haven't already, and that way you'll receive the notification for any changes to the bid. Virtual meeting details. The bid opening will be streamed live. It will be recorded and available on our website for viewing on PBC's homepage at www.pbcchicago.com, and also on the current opportunities page for the project, which can be found at the address listed on the screen. Submission requirements. The bid must be submitted electronically one email that includes the following 3 documents. One complete copy of the bid document that has to have original signatures in blue ink or digital signature. You must include your bid bond, and a PDF document should be a searchable PDF document and not a scanned copy, with the exception of documents such as licenses that are only available as a copy. You also must have one complete copy of the master bid form document in PDF format and one complete copy of the master bid form document in Excel format. It must be emailed to 2 places. One is pbc-procurement@cityofchicago.org, and also to myself, again, dee.taylor@cityofchicago.org. If for some reason you are unable to submit your bid electronically, you can request to submit it in a hard copy version. However, you must put that request in writing to myself, the contract officer. And again, dee.taylor@cityofchicago.org, and our Director of Procurement, James Borkman, will make a decision regarding your request. The pre-award meeting for the selected contractor will be Friday, July 10th, 2026 at 2:00 p.m. It will be a virtual meeting, but again, the date and time are subject to change via addendum. The lowest responsive and responsible bidder shall be required to have, at a minimum, the project executive, project manager, if known, and the cost estimator in attendance for the meeting. We require that you invite principals of all your MBE, WBE subcontractors listed on your Schedule D. You also must provide and be prepared to discuss the schedule of values, if applicable, for the project, and also provide a list of pre-award meeting attendees in advance of the meeting. The anticipated schedule for the notice of award, the release is scheduled for July 2026 following the PBC Board of Commissioners meeting. The successful general contractor will also be required to provide a compliance certificate of insurance and payment and performance bond within 7 days of an NOA being issued. A few highlights in Book 1 and 2. In Book 1. The budget, staffing, and additional requirements are included in Book 1. The estimated construction budget can be found on page 4, and it's $2,600,000. The range goes from that and up into $2,700,000. The mandatory project staffing also can be found in Book 1 on page 6. Scheduling software requirements on page 6 as well in Book 1. Liquidated damages as well can be found on page 6 in Book 1. And the prevailing wage rates can be found on page 7 and also page 47, where we include a link directly to the Illinois Department of Labor. We recommend joint venture opportunities. Well, we encourage it. You will have to complete a Schedule B, which is the joint venture affidavit. That can be found in Book 1 on page 32. You also must submit a JV agreement as well as a certification letter. On your screen, you'll see a sample of the bid form. It shows the 4 different locations for each alley. At the bottom of the form, there's the amount, the grand total base bid, which includes the sum of all of the alleys, all 4 alleys, and also the grand total for the award criteria figure for all alleys. On this bid form, each alley has a separate tab. So you'll be entering unit pricing for all 4 alleys individually. As you can see on this screen, that's a sample of all 4 of the alleys. The master bid, as we just saw, that form will automatically total for each of the 4 alleys. This is this is a sample of the schedule of prices. This is where you'll enter your unit pricing, where you see the arrow pointed on the screen. The first arrow is pointed where you'll enter your unit pricing in that column, and the sheet will automatically total at the bottom where the arrow is pointing towards the circle at the bottom. On the master bid form that we just looked at, you also will see the total from all alleys. That's where it populates here on the right. And then you must also complete the lines where it says surety information. We need the name and the address of your surety firm, as well as the name and date, the name of your company and the date. This is a sample of the award criteria figure form, and this is where you'll complete lines that are highlighted in the light green color. Your percentages you'll put in for a minority journeyman, apprentice, and laborer, as well as female journeyman, apprentice, and laborer. Our compliance team will present more details shortly on this form. And at the bottom, the form will automatically populate for your total award criteria figure amount. The basis of award, which can be found in Book 1 on page 11, includes the information about the award. The award will be made to the responsible bidder submitting the lowest grand total award criteria figure, which can be found on line 19 of the bid form, whose corresponding grand total base bid, which can be found on line 18 of the bid form, is within the available funds for each alley and is otherwise responsive to all requirements of the contract documents. Firms are required to fill out the entire bid form in order to be considered responsive. The Commission reserves the right to reject any and all bids, however, wherever such rejection is in the best interest of the Commission. Bids that the PBC considers to be materially unbalanced will be rejected. We've reached the portion of our presentation for our compliance team, and our Deputy Director of Compliance, Jesse Rodriguez, will present now.
Good
Jesse?
morning, Dee. I'm gonna present instead of Jesse.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Patrice. I'm sorry, that's our Director of Compliance, Patrice Doyle. Thank
Hello,
you.
everyone. So for this project, the MBE and WBE goals are 26% minority business enterprise, 6% women business enterprise. We only accept certification from the City of Chicago or Cook County. So when your MBEs and WBEs are submitting their certification documentation, make sure it is current, make sure that they are certified in the scope that they will be performing, and also make sure it is either from the City of Chicago or Cook County. And if you would like more information about the MBE and WBE programs, you can find additional information in Book 2, Article 23. The award criteria for this project, the maximum that you can provide is 70% minority journey, apprentice, and labor. The maximum is 15% for female journey, apprentice, and labor. If you are awarded the contract, those will become requirements. So make sure that whatever percentage that you provide, you'll be able to achieve. So again, that's 70% of the total hours worked for minority journey, apprentice, and labor. 15% of the total hours worked for female journey, apprentice, and labor. You do not have to do the 70% to 15%. You can provide the information that you can achieve. For community hiring, as Dee mentioned, there will be an addendum that will provide the map for the community areas of the hours, total hours worked. 7.5% should come from that community area identified on the map. For city residency, 50% of the total hours worked should be for city resident tradespeople. We use B2G now for our MBE, WBE tracking system. If your MBE or WBE is an established business, when they submit their certification documentation and it says that they're an established business, it also identifies the percentage of credit they can receive. The first year is 75, the second year is 50, and the third year is 25% of that contract value. If they are a manufacturer, they can receive 100%. If they are a supplier, they can receive 60%, and brokers receive 0%. The credit amount is different from the contract amount, and I'll go into detail when I discuss the Schedule D and the Schedule C, which they must be submitted at the time of bid, your Schedule D and your Schedule C. So the Schedule D reflects the credit amount. So when I mentioned the established business, If someone is an established business and they're at their second year and they only receive 50% credit, the total contract value should go on the Schedule C, but the credit amount will be reflected on the Schedule D. So if it's $100,000 contract amount, that will appear on the Schedule C, and the credit amount of $50,000 will appear on the Schedule D. Similar to if they are a supplier. If they are a supplier and their contract value is $100,000, that's the amount that will appear on the Schedule C, but on the Schedule D, it should reflect the $60,000 that they will receive as being suppliers. And your percentage are, just real quick, D, because I know we've been having new bidders, and I failed to mention this in previous ones. Your total percentage of 26 and MBE and 6% WBE is based on that total base bid. The Schedule C, which is the MBE or WBE information, again, make sure their total contract value appears on the Schedule C in addition to their scope of work that they will be performing. There is a subcontracting level on page 2 that is often overlooked, but it must be completed. If they are not subbing out any work, not supplies, this is just work to be performed. If they're not subbing out any work, then 0 should be for non-MBE as well as MBE, WBE. If they are subbing out a portion of their work to a non-MBE or WBE supplier, they should identify that percentage. So, for example, if they're subbing out 10% and their contract value is $100,000, again, the total contract value will be on the Schedule C, but the Schedule D will reflect that credit amount, which is only $90,000. If they are subbing out to an NBE or WBE, and the same example is 10%, the total contract value should be 100%, and they will receive full credit. If awarded the contract, additional information will be required. But make sure you're completing those subcontracting levels, and that your total contract value is on the Schedule C and your credit amount is on the Schedule D.
Okay, thank you, Patrice. Again, my name is Dee Taylor, and I am the sole point of contact for this project as the contract officer. If you have any communications or correspondence, please, for this project, please direct it solely to me at dee.taylor@cityofchicago.org. This portion of our presentation will cover the technical review for the project, and it'll be covered by our project manager, Robert Ochi. Robert?
Thank you, Dean. Good morning, everyone. So let me just go over the project overview with the project locations for these alleys, and then I'll hand it off to Demel Cox, who's the engineer of record for these projects. So for the first project, East 41st Street, these are the boundaries for East 41st Street, East 42nd Place, South Drexel Boulevard, South Ellis Avenue. The next alley will be West 42nd Street, which is bounded by West 42nd Street, West 42nd Place, South Normal Avenue, South Shields Avenue. The third alley is bounded by West 31st Place, West 32nd Street, South Racine Avenue, South Mays Street. And our fourth alley in this package is bounded by West 47th Street, West 48th Street, South Marshfield Avenue, and South Ashland Avenue. I'll hand it over to Demel Cox.
Morning. We'll start off with East 41st, 42nd, Drexel Boulevard, and Ellis. The existing conditions: deteriorating pavement, utility poles located within existing right-of-way, primary residential use. There is existing drainage, and the alley varies in width from 12 to 24 feet. We are planning to reuse this existing sewer. This is one of the alleys that is still in OUC. Hopefully nothing changes, but looks promising at the moment. Next alley is 42nd Place, Normal, and Shields. Existing conditions, deteriorating pavement, utility poles located within the existing right-of-way, primarily residential use. And this alley has no existing sewer and is a dead end, as you can see for that last photo on the right. Next slide. We are proposing 3 catch basins, 10-inch extra strength vitrified clay pipe, an 8-inch ductile iron pipe with a connection to a 24-inch reinforced concrete pipe sewer on South Normal Avenue, as you can see in that sketch below. And then this alley does have a construction work cautionary. Minor levels of lead, recommended PPE and gloves are in protective eyewear, long sleeves and long pants are recommended. Next alley is 31st Place, 32nd Street, South Racine in May. Existing conditions of deteriorating pavement and existing speed humps. We do have utility poles located within the existing right-of-way, primarily residential use. No existing sewer as well. We are proposing 2 catch basins, 8-inch extra strength vitrified clay pipe, an 8-inch ductile iron pipe with a connection to a 54-inch reinforced concrete pipe on West 32nd Street. And then we were planning to also add the driveway to the scope of work to reduce bottoming out. This alley is also an OUC still and looks promising to be approved soon. Next alley, 47th, 48th, Marshfield, and Ashland. Existing conditions, deteriorating pavement with flooding, utility poles located with the existing right-of-way, mix of commercial and residential use, no existing sewer. Concrete block paver and construction work caution area, minor levels of lead, recommended PPE are gloves, protective eyewear, long sleeves, and long pants. This is a brick or block paver alley, so we will be using existing soil, which is suitable for drainage.
Okay, thank you, Robert and Jamil. That concludes our presentation for today. This is the portion where you are able to ask questions of any of the presenters. This is our Q&A portion. Are there any questions?
Currently, no questions in the chat, Dee.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for attending today's pre-bid and technical review meeting for the Chicago Department of Transportation Capital Program, Alleys Various Locations, Package 9. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All right.
Dee.
Thank you, Dee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.